So more on VaperCon. What was VaperCon like? What was it like when you walked through the doors? Well, let me take you through the doors of VaperCon. Hi, hey folks, PBusardo. We are going into VaperCon. Here we go. This is what you get. You walk through these doors right here, and then you turn to your right, and you see Basil Ray. How you doing, buddy?
Good, I'm working the door. Oh, let me get you. Look at these vape team guys that think they're above the law and they don't have to wear name tags. How's anybody gonna know who they are? Russ is a radio show. Nobody's seen him before. Nobody's seen what he
He's just a voice.
Yeah, right? Greeks, they just walk to the beat of their own drum anyways. There you are. Thank you. What up? Jolly? I haven't seen or heard anything about him since last.
So VaperCon was a lot of people. A lot of vendors. We're going to talk about the vendors in a little bit. From what I understand, it was almost like double the numbers of last year. I think they said something like 600 between the 2 days last year, but they got 500 on Friday alone. You may have noticed somebody there working the door that I was excited to meet. Basil Ray, another hugely popular reviewer. It was great to meet Basil, to talk to Basil. I talked to Basil at length the night of the costume party, and he tuned out the wicks that I had coming out of my head, and we just talked for a while. Another guy I got a chance to meet, Feel the Vapor was there. We were joking because he didn't wear his hat for part of the event. And people were like looking at him. They knew who he was, but they really weren't quite sure. And then he put the hat on. It was, hey, I feel the vapor. The guy, he pisses me off a little bit. He does. I'm not going to lie. Because he doesn't need to be that damn good looking, okay? Because he really ruins all the photos for the rest of us, okay? But it was really, really cool meeting him too. So, you know, there were a lot of other reviewers there. And a lot of people and a lot of vendors. So really, you go to these big meets. You go to these big meets to meet people, to talk with people who share your interest, and you go for the vendors, okay? Because you may get products and devices that you can't get yet. And if you can get them, you will probably get them at a much better price, okay? Maybe you can even haggle a little bit. As the event wears down a little bit, they throw things on sale. So what did I see? What did I see that was really cool? Okay, I saw a few things that were for sale. I saw a few things that were not for sale yet, like this. We talked to Cisco a while back about the Atomizer tank. Here it is in its prototype form. There are still some bugs to work out, but I did try it. It was pretty good. Also from Cisco, I bought this. What is here? What is this? It looks like a 357. It says 357 on it. No, he made me try this one. Same juice, two different atomizers, a standard 357 and this 357. And this 357 does not use silica wick. Oh no, it uses ceramic. And the flavor was impressive enough to have me purchase one of these guys right here. So I look forward to trying this with some of my other juices to really see if it was just that juice or if it's going to be all juices. But it was worth buying. Hopefully I'll get some photos in there for you to take a look at this. Let's see who else. Zen was there. Oh wow, was Zen there? Like. There are a lot of, they call them, what do they call themselves? Zenfidels or something like that. His booth, when they first opened up, was packed, okay? He had a lot of the Z-Addies there. He had the new Zenjector, I think it is. He had the Cobalts there. And he had this there. This is the Sidewinder. This is a sexy looking piece. It is not cheap, but it's also not cheaply made, as we would know from some of the stuff coming from Zen. Now, speaking of not cheap, let's talk about the Titanide from ElectronicStix.com. When I sat down with Dimitri to do the show, he asked me what was the most impressive thing that I saw at the show, and I said right away, the button on the Titanide. Okay, yes, button on the Titanide. So I caught up with Jason at the ElectronicStix booth. Here's what he had to say about it.
That's it, right?
VaperCon 2012, and here we are at the ElectronicStix booth. And you know, I've been calling it ElectronicStix all the time, and people have been telling me, no, Phil, it's ElectronicStix. What's the real name, Jason? Can you please tell us?
It's ElectronicStix.
Ah, there you go. So I have had it right, but actually I had it wrong at one point. Right?
Yeah, because it used to be ElectronicStix, but we added a copyright issue and had to take a hyphen out. So we're good now.
So it is ElectronicStix.
Yep.
All right, and you have a sexy new mod, right? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It's the Titanide Themis. They're made in France by a guy named Mark. He's a really nice guy. They're full titanium construction with 24-karat gold-plated contacts and end caps on some models. They've got the mother-of-pearl inlay on the buttons, locking switch. It's got the air grooves for your tank. Totally sealed connector on the inside. There's no way anything's going to leak in there. And the machining is just beautiful on these units. The button is, I've heard, oh, that's an amazing button, like 100 million times this weekend.
Okay, I'll go on record on saying that this is absolutely the smoothest button I have ever tried.
But if you go in nice and close, you can see how nice and smooth that operates.
It really is unbelievable.
It's just some really nice machine work on these.
And these are made where?
They're made in France.
Right.
And they've got the 18650 model. We got the 14500 model. That just looks really nice, by the way. And then we've got the dainty 10440 model. And they all have the same button action.
So cool. Now the 18650 version can be kicked if you want. Right?
Yes, you can kick it. On those models, there's a, if you look in the bottom, I don't know that you'll be able to see it, they put a couple O-rings in there to cushion when you're slamming your batteries down there. And, you know, sometimes when you put a kick in, you know, whether you're using a 490 or a 500, you could get a gap like this at the very top. So you'll just pull one of the rings out and then you'll close it right up. Okay. And then you're good to go.
I mean, they even come in an impressive box. You got one of the boxes?
Yeah, everybody loves the box because, you know, it's nice, it's silver, Titanide, nice and hard. Okay. Then you open it up.
You're very welcome. Did you want a bag or you've got one?
I do that for people and they're like, what the hell just happened? But yeah, it's just a nice touch, nice box.
Tips for them,
okay. So they even put some thought into the box. Now, never mind the box, these are not cheap.
No.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Well, we've got the 18650 version will come at $296 for the gold cap version. And then the titanium cap and the bottom piece, that one will be around $258. The 14500, the gold capped one's $244 and the titanium is $220. The titanium has, you know, the titanium caps on the top and bottom like that. And this 10440 version, the titanium is $181 and the gold is $205.
Okay, so all of the eyebrows just went up, but if you are into the finer things in vaping, this could be a possibility for you because they are beautiful. And like I said, that button is just. And you know, I've actually talked to a bunch of people here at the VaperCon, and everybody said the same thing. Oh my God, that button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really like it's unlike any other button out there right now.
And they do come with a lifetime warranty.
Okay, well that's good.
That's a plus.
All right, Jason, thanks very much for talking.
Yeah, have a good one, Phil.
All right.
So there you go. Like I said, not cheap. It's really not going to do anything different from some of your other tube mods out there. But at that level, it's almost like you're buying a piece of jewelry. And there is a market for the finer things in life. If you are in that market, that may be your next mod. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. And there's one more thing that I wanted to show you guys from this guy right here. This is Brandon from Evolve. He's the guy who brings you things like the Darwin and the Kick. And he has a new, exciting little gadget, actually very little gadget, that you will find shortly in a lot of mods coming. I'm quite sure of that. Let's talk to Brandon about it.
Okay, we are at VaperCon 2012, and I'm sitting here talking to Brandon. And Brandon is the owner of, am I correct? You're the owner of Evolve?
Yeah, I'm one of two owners.
One of two owners. The other owner is?
We're a partner.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yep.
And you are the person who came out with a kind of a game changer, the original Darwin.
right? And you have potentially a new game changer, don't you?
We hope so.
Okay, and you're also behind the kick, obviously, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the kick, the DNA 12, the Darwin.
Okay, so talk to us about the DNA. What is it? What does it look like? When can you get it? We want to know everything.
Well, you know, our original DNA project was a 12-watt modder sport, you know, with the thought that we would sell into manufacturing, which we have, and also give something to the modding community at a low price point that they could build power regulation into their mods. We now have a new DNA product out, and we wanted to make it a little bit easier to build in for manufacturers as well as modders. We did some, you know, we listened to a lot of what they were asking for. One of the things that they were asking for was a screen. So we put an OLED screen on this. We increased the total watts output, total power output, from 12 to 20 watts. This one has onboard buttons, so you don't have to solder on buttons or a potentiometer. It's got a button for, you know, powering up, you know, and powering down in tenths of a watt.
All right, so let's take a look at it.
Okay.
And there, should I turn it this way?
Yep.
Is that, okay.
Yep. And this is the OLED screen, which is satelliteable. Let's see that. You can twist. Twist it in different configurations. It really was meant to be flipped behind. If you're going to put it into a tube mod, this is a tube mod we put it into. What we did was we built rails. We CNC'd out rails.
Yeah, I want to get this. It actually has a glare on the screen, but I want to see it. People to see the screen. There it is. Hold it down there. Perfect. And that screen is going to show the resistance of your device. It's going to show your power level.
That's correct.
And it also shows the voltage that the device fires at, depending on the resistance of the device you have screwed onto your
That's
device.
correct. And there's 2 buttons on the board, which I'm pressing now. That will take you through your power setting. And it goes all the way from 6 to 20. You hold it down, it speeds up.
It speeds up, yeah.
Get you through.
Very neat. And what is your the estimated? Now, by the way, I did try this one last night. It is a functioning unit, but it's there are a couple things missing at this point. It's a prototype.
Yeah. We haven't finished up all the coding. We haven't cleaned it up.
Right.
We literally got this together right before the show.
Okay.
We've been working on this project for about 6 months. This is a 96, well, mid to high 90s efficiency. So, meaning we don't need a heat sink. There's not a lot of there's no good reason to put a heat sink on it, which also it allows us to hit that 20 watt mark in such a small area, because we were thermally limited with the DNA 12, meaning that 12 watts was about as high as we could go, with the efficiency. But we did a synchronous converter, which is a different type of boost converter, which is a lot more efficient.
Right. And we talked last night too, when you let me try it.
Mm-hmm.
This version, obviously the final version will have protection built into it.
That's correct.
Right, but the version that you let me try last night did not have protection. Was that correct?
No. No, it did not have any of that.
Okay. Well, Brandon, I know you are a very serious guy, but I like to look at the comedy side of things a lot. And you also built your buttons out of metal nails.
Yes. We actually cobbled this together before I came, because I was just going to carry it around all separate, but I thought that's going to be really clunky. So we took parts we had in the shop and literally threw this together in about an hour or two.
Right, just to bring something.
Yeah, just hot glued a top on, threw some buttons on.
So basically you allowed me to vape something that I could not only have blown myself up with, but I had the potential to bleed from the nails too.
Absolutely.
That is not a good way to get a thumbs up from me, Brandon.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. So when do you think this is going to be available, and what do you think the price point is going to be?
Right now, I don't want to give a release date. I will tell you it'll be out before Christmas. I can say that with absolute certainty.
Okay.
The price point will be, we're pretty certain on that. That'll be $49.99.
Which is...
That's for a single quantity. Now, in low quantity, it's going to drop down in 30s.
Okay.
So.
Which is
an amazingly low price for
Yeah.
what it is.
Well, that's what we, we wanted to get, following that DNA format, we wanted to get something out that was, going to be very affordable.
Right.
Our one is to get our technology out there, but do it affordably.
Okay. And do you have any plans of building a device around it?
At this time, no, not around the DNA 20D. We do have some other devices in the works, but they're using iterations of, obviously they're all going to use power regulation, but
Okay.
but not necessarily that particular board.
So that is the DNA.
That is the DNA.
And I bet you there are a lot of people very, very excited for that.
I hope so.
That's cool. I was kind of blown away by the OLED screen.
Yeah.
That even though it's very small, it's also very legible.
Yeah,
kinda neat.
no backlight required. So
Yep.
and the OLEDs are they're stark. They pop.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for talking to me.
No problem.
Thanks for telling me everybody about the DNA. I know I can't wait to have one in something. I don't know what that something is going to be, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of somethings using it.
Right.
Okay, thanks, Brandon.
All right, thank you.
So how about that? The DNA from Evolve. Pretty exciting stuff. And it's always nice to see Brandon laugh. Okay. So before I mentioned CASAA, and I did mention that there was a CASAA meeting that happened Saturday morning. There are still a lot of people who don't know what CASAA is. And I think at this point you probably should know because these people are fighting for us, okay? So let's find out a little bit more about CASAA.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So you are with CASAA.
Yes.
Okay. And there are a lot of people out there who still don't know what CASAA is. Mm-hmm. So give us the 5-minute deal. What is CASAA?
CASAA is the Consumer Advocates for Smoke-Free Alternatives Association, and we support tobacco harm reduction. We work with getting the public familiar with alternative products to smoking, like electronic cigarettes, smoke-free tobacco products like the lozenges, the strips, snus, things like that, that are less risky than smoking.
So it's not just electronic cigarettes?
Not just electronic cigarettes, no.
Okay.
We started off with and most of us use electronic cigarettes, and that's how we started out, but as we went through looking at what was going on with the people who oppose electronic cigarettes, and they also oppose other smoke-free products, and then learning the differences between the comparable products that were very similar to electronic cigarettes, we're learning as we go along too.
Right.
So, and we also, some people don't pick up the electronic cigarette and just quit, and some people do. And my husband was one of those people. He could not give up those last couple cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it up. Done. I'm good.
Really? Can you talk to my wife, please?
He couldn't, and he actually mentioned snus. And at the time, I said, "Oh no, that's oral cancer. You can't.
Right.
Don't put tobacco." And then I did my research. I thought, you know what? All these people are saying these things about e-cigarettes. Let's find out the truth.
Sure.
And so as soon as he started using the snus, he quit and hasn't looked back since with the e-cigarettes. So there's just that's something missing for some people.
Right.
I estimate it's probably about 25% of vapors have that issue, where you see things like the WTA liquids coming out and things like that.
Yep.
So that's how, and we all kind of feel that way. So that's how we expanded into not just e-cigarettes, but all sorts of tobacco harm reduction
Okay.
products.
And so you are a nonprofit?
We are a nonprofit.
Okay.
We're all volunteer board. So we're all living our full lives and with kids and stuff, and then doing this on the side. We're not getting paid for it.
Isn't it fun? We all do that. It's amazing. So are you making a difference? Can you give us an example of have you had successes?
Yes, absolutely. They were slow coming, and sometimes they're little ones, but for us they're big. Along with getting known in the tobacco harm reduction world, we're making a name for ourselves. People are starting to acknowledge us as an existing organization. Dr. Michael Siegel, who is a tobacco harm reduction advocate, just recently posted about us in his blog. So we're getting on the radar, which is a big thing, because to have a voice,
Yep.
you need to have people listening and take you seriously.
Right.
And then we've done things like fighting all e-cigarette bans, excessive taxes on tobacco, kind of put those two words together, excessive tobacco taxes, which sometimes they've tried to include e-cigarettes, sometimes they're just hitting up the lower risk tobacco products, and it makes no sense. We want to keep those affordable so people see that as a good alternative.
Right.
I mean, if for a lot of people, if electronic cigarettes cost the same as regular cigarettes, it wouldn't have been an incentive for them. Some people, that's the only reason they even try them. So fighting those bans, we had a tobacco tax in Hawaii where they were trying to tax it at an astronomical amount. We got together with a vendor who was out of their volcano. They got a hold of their customers. We helped them with some language and the laws and things like that, and then we were able to block that law. There's been several different all-out sales bans where they tried to ban e-cigarette sales to adults that we've been able to stop. A few indoor smoking bans.
Which amazes me. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I mean that and the indoor smoking bans, where they just try to tuck them in with the smoking bans and say, oh, and e-circuits are included too, you can't use those either. Or they've tried to add them to existing bans. The ones we had the hardest time with are the ones where they sneak them in with, they're trying to ban smoking in areas where there isn't any smoking, and then they tie that in with, oh, by the way, we're going to include e-cigarettes, and that's ones where we really need, our members out there to let us know, and vendors, customers should be made aware of it. It's happening, that they need to watch these smoking bans, because that's where we're sneaking in the e-cigarettes.
Right.
So
you are making a difference, and that's terrific. A little off topic here, but so you mentioned the indoor smoking bans, right? Would you ever take your electronic cigarette out in a restaurant and vape it?
Yes, if it was vaping friendly, I guess.
Right.
I mean, if I hadn't, I probably would ask first. If I didn't ask, I probably would stealth vape. I just wouldn't make a big show of it, because actually my husband and I just went to dinner or to brunch across the way, and they have a little sign up saying, please do not use your electronic cigarettes in the restaurant.
Yep.
And of course, my hackles went up a little bit, and then I thought about it.
There goes their tip, right?
But I thought about it, and I thought it's not a real big place.
Right.
And it looked like it had been retrofitted for smoking at one point, that maybe that where we were sitting was actually an outdoor patio for smokers at one time.
Right.
But I thought about VaperCon last night, and I thought about what that room looked like. And the haze. And even though there was that haze, which dissipated really quickly, and I even mentioned to a couple of people, I said, could you imagine if this was all cigarettes right now?
Oh
I would be choking and out of the room. But I pictured that, and then I pictured that little restaurant with a bunch of vapors sitting in it, and then customers coming in who weren't vapors going, oh my God, what is this stuff?
What's going on,
And so you have to be considerate to that. And so I said, I bet that's what happened. I bet initially they didn't do anything, but then I saw how many vapors were sitting there with me at that moment.
Right.
And so I kind of extrapolated that to what I was thinking last night about the smokers being in a room of here's a room full of vapors. So I usually will stealth vape, or I'll ask, or if I have a favorite place I go, I try to give them one of the CASAA stickers that we have, or door decals that members can buy and hand out to their favorite establishments that say no smoking but vaping allowed, and that's a way to do that.
Yeah, because we know, I've read the article that pretty much proves that secondhand vape is nothing to worry about, but
it gives us a good indication. Yeah.
Right. One of the things that I probably wouldn't do is maybe vape in a restaurant, because some of the vapor output has an odor, right? Especially some of the strong, like maple leaf flavors.
That's true.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that does have the potential to interfere with somebody's dinner or something like that.
Well, so does body odor and perfume.
Oh, but I always smell so good.
I'm just saying our body odor and perfume.
So,
but I've been places where you're trying to eat and but they don't ban those people from coming in, or say
that's a good point. I didn't look at it that way.
But it's good to be. I think it's the scare factor, and I think the more we can get out and talk to the owners of these establishments and say, here, and give them a demonstration, and then say, I'd be happy to give you some information on it. Here's a sticker that says, because then it makes the stickers and stuff make it clear, but it says smoking not allowed, so that when non-smokers see it, that's a sign for them too. It's not just a sign for vapors saying you're welcome. It's also a sign for non-smokers to say, okay, I'm not seeing a cigarette here.
Right.
I'm seeing something different.
Because somebody who really isn't involved with or understands vaping, as far as they are concerned, it looks like smoking.
And then all the stuff the ants are putting out there. Oh, there's carcinogens, there's antifreeze, there's all this other stuff in there.
So I was at the meeting, and you talked about what people can do to support you in supporting us, right?
Right.
So what are some of the things that just the regular vapor who wants to get more involved in it all, what could they do?
Well, the big thing is join. go to the website, sign up. That puts you onto our constant contact database, and be sure to put your location in there too, so we know to find you in case something's happening in your area, and we can reach you and send you out the emails. So that way you can stay aware of things. Sign up for the RSS feeds, get the newsletter, check on the Facebook page. We update tons of stuff on our Facebook page and our group page. Staying informed is a big thing. The next best thing is to watch what's going on in your area. So if you have somebody's, like I said before, to sneak these things into smoking bans.
Right.
So if you see in your local paper on the news, oh, so-and-so is proposing to ban smoking in bars and restaurants, but not doing that in your area already, it's a foreign concept to me because it's statewide in my state now. So that if there's places still out there. So if they say there's going to be a smoking ban, that should pique your ear, you know, get your attention, because that's where they like to sneak these e-cig bans in. So when you do hear that, check it, make a phone call, say, does this include electronic cigarettes? Or even if you don't want to make that effort, if you see the article, hit copy, paste, and send it to us so we at least know, and we can check if we have to. But it'd be a great help, because there is only a few of us on the board and we already have our hands full. That members can really be helpful by watching for those things, gathering as much information as possible, and getting it to us so we can take it from there and disseminate the information and get it out to people and start fighting it. Or you may just call and find out that, oh no, e-cigarettes aren't included. Bam, awesome. Donating, signing up as a regional rep, which is also the same. It's very similar to what I was just talking about, but you're a little more, you're giving us a little more of a commitment that I'm here to help if you need me if something happens, is really what it is. And we do try to really help you. We don't just say, here you go, we need you to go fight this. We'll give you all the materials we can. Well, Greg ghost writes letters to the editor all the time for people, you know, to do that stuff. So there's that, and I feel like I'm missing something. Talking to your vendors, you know, your favorite vendors. They should know who CASAA is. Right. You know, make sure they know.
Do you have any materials like on the website or anything that people can print and hand out to
Yes.
people? Are there?
Yes. If you go to the website, it's under, I believe, printable materials. There's a tab.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's under CASAA. I know, I can't remember what the name of the tab is, but you'll see it. It's one of the main tabs. It'll drop down and it says printable handouts or printable materials. And we've got the medical infographics you can give to your doctors, to employers. We've got the trifold flyer that Elaine designed that's got all kind of common questions and answers on it. You can go to the store and order the cards. We only charge, I believe, cost to get the business cards to hand out that has information, and also the little decals. We try to keep those real cheap too. Make a little money off them, just kind of part of fundraising thing. Sure. But I think it's like 5 for $10 or something like that.
Good,
it's barely.
good. Okay.
So.
And give the website again.
CASAA.org. CASAA.org.
Okay. Thanks very much for talking with me, and keep up the good work. I mean, we need all the help we could get because we're afraid of what's coming up. So.
I'll probably be doing it until the day I die.
Which will be a far time from now.
I hope so.
Right? Thanks to vaping.
Yep. Thanks to vaping. Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
So there's some good information about CASAA and how we can all help and get involved from Kristen. Okay. I'm actually editing this video as I record this, and I'm going to do it. I told you guys I would do it eventually. We are going to break the 1 hour barrier on this one. But again, it'll be indexed, and you know, if you watch the whole thing, terrific. I just hope you had some popcorn and soda or beer or whatever. Beer, we're getting to that. We're just about there. But let's talk about some more of the people that I met and got to hang around with. You remember this guy right here? How excited he was to see me at Vape Bash. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the brand new map, Most Angry Pirate. How about that, huh? The guy looks absolutely fantastic. I got a chance to go on Vape TV, my first time with those guys. That was terrific. Ed kept trying to steal my cell phone for whatever reason. Jamie just always had his head in some kind of gear, some kind of laptop, some kind of new MIDI controller. I can't wait to see what CJ does with that piece. I finally got a chance to meet Dawn. That was fantastic. Matt and Abby were there. They look terrific here, but they look fantastic here. I met these two girls right here who came up to me and we took a picture together, and one looked up at me and she said, "Do you want to taste my juice?" And I smiled, and then she handed me a bottle of e-liquid. Oh well. And then we got to the costume contest. The costume contest happened late Saturday night. Some really, really crazy costumes. Some freaky ones, some funny ones, some interesting ones. You know, one of the things that I learned back in the club days with costume contests, never drink during a costume contest, just in case. And then the costume contest was over and the drinking began. Apparently there were a few people there who wanted to party with a drunken PBusardo, and your wish was my command. It all started with a simple strawberry. The problem is that strawberry was at the bottom of strawberry moonshine. It seemed innocent enough. Well, after the first strawberry, which I probably shouldn't have had, there was the second strawberry, the third strawberry, the fourth strawberry, and the fifth strawberry. So I blame these guys. I blame Chris and Randy for the strawberry moonshine and the strawberries that I enjoyed. And I blame Rob from Blue Mist Vaping, who also had a hand in my demise that evening. I told a couple people that I was there with, I said, look, if it gets too bad, just roll me underneath one of the tables. Okay, just don't let me pass out in front of everybody. Well, luckily that didn't happen. So the partying continued. It got a little bit crazy. I got a chance to hang out with these two guys again. If you remember in one of my videos, I said that Andrew, I think he's as crazy as he appears. I rest my case. But now, hopefully, since they have now partied with me, they will perhaps retract that old guy statement. All right, so that's it, folks. If you did not find yourself in this video, I apologize. But it's already, I know it's already over an hour. That was an incredibly long look at VaperCon 2012. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you did. As always, you guys, thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you again soon. All right. So here we are with Matt. Everybody say hello to Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello, everybody.
Matt, tell us your story.
April 9th, I got diagnosed with lung cancer. And on May 9th, they took the bottom third of my right lung out. And I had to quit smoking. My doctor told me, you got to quit smoking or I'm not going to operate. And then he told me about vaping. Believe it or not, my surgeon recommended I try it. Still, like I told Phil, I'm still vaping tobacco flavors, but I'm vaping, haven't had a cigarette since the 9th of April. And the neat thing is, you know, little counters you put at the bottom of your of some of the liquid recipe thing here. I've already saved $1,800.
That's good for you. And how you feeling?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, and you're doing.
I'm still hurting a little from the surgery, but other than that, I feel fine.
And are you happy to be a vapor now?
Pretty much.
Well,
I like it.
Welcome to the community.
Thanks.
I wish you the best, man. That's awesome. Great story.
Thanks.
Can I taste your juice?